You might have heard of the concept of curling parenting, of helicopter parenting. And I want to introduce the reverse concept of this idea. And I'm gonna claim it for my fellow fathers out there. Because I want to name that reverse, that anti-curling parenting approach. I think it belongs to dads. So I think we should claim dad parenting. Dad parenting as like the answer to all those curling parents out there. And I will tell you why. Because I was part of this dad parenting style last weekend. When I was out in nature with 12 friends, 12 dudes, of which 11 fathers, 11 dads, and all together with 23 kids within the age of 3 and 11. And that was dad parenting all around us. No? It was beautiful to see how free those little kids were playing around and falling and having bruises and everything together. And we dads were totally cool, observing and not acting upon all those little requests of our kids. And they loved it. And you saw them like playing and developing or finding their ways themselves. Totally cool. So there was this huge swing with a 3-meter rope connected to a tree, tied up to a tree, and there were kids swinging on it, like sometimes 10, or now let's say 5 or 6, 7 at the same time, and they were going very high, and we pushed them very high, and they pushed themselves also on this rope swing on the tree, and the little ones, they would walk by a bit, and then of course it happened that a daughter, a 3 or 4-year-old daughter of one of my best friends, she walked past, across the swing, and she got hit by the swing, and she had a bleeding nose, and so the fathers observed it, and they saw it, and of course they stepped in. They sat down and took care of the little girl, and she then walked the rest of the day with a huge plaster, and the swinging continued as loud and as high as it did before, and that's but there was no panic or there was no nothing. It was just like a dad taking care of the situation, and it continued the playing and the fun. And I think if I say dad parenting, parent as a dad, as the opposite of curling parenting, I think it kind of makes sense, and a lot of people would understand the idea of that counter answer of curling parenting. And so I saw it happening there, and this was just a little example of the situation that I think is typical for dads to do. And it's not that we're not interested. We love our kids dearly, and the same, and totally the same as all those mothers out there. It's just a much different, a very different approach of handling situations and observing situation, and let it go. No, I think it's beautiful, and it's a good example, and it's like an asset, a quality we dads a little bit more naturally bring in the role of parenting. So I claim dad parenting as the counter and the answer of curling parenting here. See you, bye bye, and with love from The Hague.